Oh, okay.
Der Idot in sein Leben, mat reist Wort auf sein Bruch, in dus hat ihm gegeben, sein alte Seide noch. In wo's war a schlechtes trefft ihm ihn, wo soll ihm nicht geschehen? Trut durch ihn ist zufrieden, bleibt ihm gar nicht gewehen. Nur sein Punnen wird blass, die Augen werden nass, sein Herz wird vergossen mit Blut. Sie starken sein Herz und sie stillen sein Schmerz, nimmt sich Trösten damit. Gott in seinem Spät ist gerecht, mit Tulken mal nicht sagen, Gott ist schlecht. Gott weiß, was tut, sich ruft keinem nicht. Gott in seinem Spät ist gerecht. Gott in seinem Spät ist gerecht. Mit Tulken mal nicht sagen, Gott ist schlecht. Gott weiß, was tut, sich ruft keinem nicht. Gott in seinem Spät ist gerecht. Der Jid ist keinmal glücklich, leiten ewig an. Gebrochen in Stücklich ist die jiddische Nation. Hat kein Heim, kein Land, kein Freund, kein Trösten warm Wort. Die Schöne singt bei ihm, sie scheint nicht mehr hast ihm dort und dort. A verschottene Gär, a fremder is überall wird geplagt. Hat ist viel und doch leider still, wehnt sich nicht aus in Sorg. Gott in sein Spät ist gerecht, mit kein Mund nicht sagen, Gott ist schlecht. Gott weiß, was tut, ihm sich ruft keinem nicht. Gott in seinem Spät ist gerecht. Gott in seinem Spät ist gerecht. Mit keinem Mund nicht sagen, Gott ist schlecht. Gott weiß, was tut, ihm sich ruft keinem nicht. Gott in seinem Spät ist gerecht. Kemat in alle Deure steht Homen auf, in sich mit Kol Hameures dem schwachen Jidl Sof. Euch jetzt im 20. Jahrhundert und Freund der ihn erreicht, mir hat den Jid gereut, geplündert, dort im Sarnreich. Van, a hin Kruscher Van, hat vergossen das Blit in dem Jid. A blitigen Jam hat gemacht den Pogrom, dus Jidl singt weiter sein Lied. Gott in sein Mischbett ist gerecht, mit kein Mulli zugen, Gott ist schlecht. Gott weiß, was tut, ihm sich struft keinem nicht. Gott in sein Mischbett ist gerecht. Gott in sein Mischbett ist gerecht. Mit kein Mulli zugen, Gott ist schlecht. Gott weiß, was tut, und sich schruft keinem nicht. Gott in sein Mischbett ist gerecht, gerecht.
Whoa. Yeah. That was a book, not a song. Woo. Okay, so let's read the introduction. Janet, please, can you read it?
On the online Milken archive of Jewish music offers detailed liner notes by Professor Neil W. Levine for the song Gott und sein Mishpat ist gerecht, God and his judgment are just, which was written by Louis Gilrod and David Meyerowitz for the production in 1903 of the drama Gebrochene Herze, Broken Hearts by Zalman Lieben. The play explores intergenerational conflicts within an immigrant family headed by Nahum Estrin, a cantor.
Okay, go on, please.
Briefly, it is in the second act, that Nahum composes and sings together with a choir. I'm getting a chat. I don't know.
Guys, if you are on the phone or something, mute yourself. Guys, whoever isn't, I just don't know where it comes from.
Can you mute, Minna, can you mute everybody?
Yeah, I can mute everyone.
Why don't you just mute everybody and then unmute who's reading?
Okay, no, the person who will be reading.
I'll unmute.
Yeah, okay. We'll need to unmute himself. Yeah, okay, go on.
Briefly, it is the second act that Nahum composes and sings together with the choir Gott und sein Mishpat, ostensibly for entertainment at the signing of the Noam for the wealthy Mr. Tashkin's son's marriage to another woman, which Nahum must attend. Obviously, the song, which recalls the Jews' steadfastness to God and faithful acceptance of his judgments, despite suffering persecution and injustice throughout history, also reflects his own dejected mood, very much so, and his family's plight.
Okay, thank you, Janet.
You're welcome.
Okay, Karen, can you read, please? If you call on you, unmute yourself. So, Karen, please.
Wait, does everyone know what Tanayim is? What she just read? Did you just read that, Janet?
Yes, yes, she read it. You want to explain it, Beverly?
Well, it's when it's like the engagement announcement, the Tanayim. It's I think, unless somebody knows better. And the two
Contract, it's the marriage contract.
Right,
Yeah.
it's like the it's the engagement contract, actually.
Right, right. And the women have to break up. They break a plate. I don't know why. Does anybody know
Oh,
that?
dear.
Huh? Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
I
yes,
don't
they
know
do.
why,
You're
but I
right.
know that they do because I've been at a Tanayim. I have been at a Tanayim, and I have no
For
idea.
Mazel Tov.
Good luck.
Can I add something to nine?
Yes, okay, Rachel.
Okay, nine means conditions. That's that the meeting, the engagement with the meeting where the families meet to get the engagement happen. Includes a lot of give and take. It's like a business discussion. Who gives what? Naim means conditions. If you give this, I give this. It's like deciding who gives what and who gives for what. That's it's called Naim, conditions. I'll give you this if you give me this. And I always am against this concept. The engagement is a happy time, but this is like Naim is for an arranged marriage. It's arranged and it's like a business deal. Here we are. We agreed about the conditions.
But
Oh,
I think,
Rabbi-
Rachel, I think that I mean, and not so much in the current context, but at a certain point in time, it was a business arrangement.
Yeah, it still is. It still is in Haredic circles. Yeah, who was talking?
Me, our rabbi in Houston, when his children got engaged, he invited the whole congregation, and we saw how they do it. But it's conservative synagogue, but he wanted us to be exposed to that custom. That's how I know about it.
Good. Okay, Bob.
Yeah, how does that differ from what we do today, or not we, but people do today with a prenuptial agreement? Is that very different than this?
Yeah.
Conceptually, is it a very
Yeah, it's a
different?
very good point. Very good point. It
But-
lays out the financial obligations and all the other kind of things, which is the sort of the business side, I guess, of a marriage.
What happens if and when, or if it doesn't work, or what, just
Well,
all that's laid out.
actually, the Tnoim is between the parents, and with the dowry, it's not so. The kids were married very young. They didn't have anything really to contribute. It was the contract was made between the parents.
But I think that's true in a lot of cultures. It still
Yes.
is true in a lot.
Yes.
Certainly,
Yes.
Chinese.
By the way, the
Indian?
ketubah lays out financial penalties for the dissolution of a marriage. You have to
Absolutely.
give a certain number of goats and stuff.
Yeah.
My wife can have all the goats she wants.
The ketubah is a sales. It's a sales document. That the husband is purchasing the wife
bride.
for so much, and and if he is to divorce her, he is to pay, let's say, $5,000 or whatever. It's like a deed.
It's a deed, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's a song called the Chvilnit Azachosen, and in it said the Tnoim Shoin Bashlossen, that line. So that's why I knew what Tnoim meant. Just from a lot of the songs, I get a lot of words. Yeah,
That's good. That's good. Okay, Karen, please read.
Der Jid hat in sein Leben a Tröstwort auf sein Bruch. The Jew has in his life a consoling word. Is that?
Yes, yeah.
For his catastrophe, and das hat ihm gegeben sein alter Zeder noch. And he got it, and this he received from his old grandfather. Und was war schlechts? Es trefft dem Jeden. And what kind of horrors happened to Jews? Was soll ihm nicht geschehen? What doesn't happen?
Whatever.
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 What should he not happen? What
Whatever.
Whatever happens to him.
Okay.
tragt durch und ist zufrieden gleich wie gar nicht gewesen. He carries through and was happy just like it was nothing.
Okay.
Sounds
Since,
like Job.
since it's a difficult song, go on, Karen. Continue.
Nach sein Punem wird blass. Die Augen werden nass. Nor sein. But his face becomes pale and the eyes become wet. Sein Herz wird vergossen mit Blut. His heart is filled with overpouring, inundated with blood.
Bleeding.
Zu stärken sein Herz, to strengthen his heart, und zu stillen sein Schmerz, and to quiet his pain, nimmt sich Trost damit. He begins his consoling as thus.
Yeah, he console himself with this. Yeah.
He takes
Okay.
comfort.
Yeah. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. Brenda?
Okay, ich will proeven, aber
Okay.
das ist schwer.
Yeah, I know that the song is not
Gott,
easy.
Gott und sein Mishpat is gerecht. So God and his justice is correct, is right. Men tod kein Mal nicht sagen Gott is schlecht. At no time can you say that God is bad. Gott weiß, was tut. God knows what he is doing. Zist straft keinem nicht. So zist for free.
For nothing.
For
For
no
nothing.
reason.
For
No
nothing.
reason.
For no
Okay,
reason.
ein, please. Zist, okay, so strikes,
No. Straft is to punish.
punish, yeah, punish no one. Gott und sein Mishpat is gerecht. God and his justice is correct.
Sounds
Good.
like Job.
Okay, good. Can you continue? Another one?
For was nicht.
Okay. Good.
Der Yid is kein Mal glücklich. So the Jew is never happy. Light von ewig on. So he forever, but light, it means
Suffer.
He
suffers. So he
pain.
suffers forever.
Mhm.
Gebracht,
Beginning.
Let her go. Let her.
gebracht in sticklich is the Yiddish Nazian. Okay, so gebracht, brought, what is?
No, gebrochen.
Oh, broke, gebrochen, broke in pieces, is the Yiddish, was is Nazian?
Nation.
Nation. So let me do that again, because it got
Okay, good.
gebrochen in sticklich is
Mhm.
the Yiddish Nazian. So what broken in little pieces is the Jewish nation.
Good.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you. Elaine, can you continue?
Yes, okay. Hot kein heim.
No. Where are you?
Yeah.
Der Eid ist kein Mal glücklich.
No. She
Oh, you just did that.
she did those 2 lines. The Jew is never.
Okay. So
Okay.
Michael put it again. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hot kein heim. It has no home. Kein Land, no land. Kein Freundin, no friends. Kein Tresten, warm Wort, no comfort, no warm word. Die schöne Sonne vor ihm, sie scheint nicht. The beautiful sun doesn't shine for it. Mir hasst ihm da und dort. I think everyone hates it all over the place.
All over, everywhere.
All over, everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Afar Scholter Ger. I didn't quite understand this. Did it mean proselyte or did it mean foreigner? Like a ger? Is a ger just a stranger?
I think here it's a stranger, a foreigner, not
Okay,
a converter.
and then because then it says a fremder is heir, and so it's another word for stranger. That's why I didn't know a foreigner, a stranger. You know, the Jewish nation is always a foreigner, stranger. Überall wird geplugt. Everywhere it's tormented. Hat zures viel. It has a lot of trouble. Und doch leid still. But suffers in silence. Weint sich gut aus und sucht. He cries out well and says, and then that's the court, you know, God in his justice is, you know, Gott und sein Mishpat is gerecht. God in his justice is fair, and then the whole.
Okay. Read it and translate it. You are already there.
Oh, you want me to translate the whole?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay, because then I got to go back to the other page. Okay. Gott und sein Mishpat is gerecht. God and his judgment are just. Men torken mol nit sagen Gott is schlecht. One is not allowed to say that God is bad. Gott weiß, was tut. God knows what he's doing. Ist straft kennt nicht. He never punishes for no reason. Gott und sein Mishpat is gerecht. God and his judgment is right. Is
Okay, Rochelle, can you go?
Der
okay, it just jumped.
Okay.
No, I think it's Kimat.
Kimat, this one. Kimat in alle Deures.
Kemat in alle Deures steht auf steht a homin oif. Almost in every generation arises a homin. Und sucht mit kal hamuch. I don't know the words, Hebrew.
Kol amoires.
Kol hamoires.
Terror.
Okay. Und sucht mit kol hamoires dem schwachen Yidels oif. And searches in terror for the weak Jew.
For the end of the week. For
The end.
the end of the week.
Oh, okay. Okay, searches for the, all right, and strives, I think would be better, and strives for the end of the weak Jew.
Euch
jetzt in schwarzigsten Jahrhundert. 20. Jahr. Okay, the English is harder to read than the Yiddish. And now in the 20,000 year, 200,000 year.
No, in the 20th century.
Oh, okay, Jahrhundert. Okay, now in the 20th century. Und Feind der Eich. I'm not getting it.
On Freund.
Without friends.
erinnert euch,
I don't know what.
he recalls,
Oh, erinnert euch, he recalls, men hat dem Jid geräubt, geflundert, dus in Zarenreich. Geräubt, they robbed the Jew.
they robbed the Jew,
Geflundert, I don't know what that means.
Plunder.
to plunder him,
To plunder in the reign of the Tsar.
in the Tsar's empire, Reich, empire.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
This is Karen. Would you be able to just translate this section?
Okay. כמעט in alle Deures steht a omen auf. Almost in every generation, a omen
Arises.
Ja,
Right.
rises. Und sucht mit kol amoires dem schwachen Idel Sof. And he, with all attempts, with all kinds of horrors, to seek the end of the schwach, the
Weak.
the weak Jew. Und euch jetzt im 20. Jahrhundert, and also now in the 20th century, on friend, without a friend, erinnert euch, remember or recall, men odem id geräubt, the Jew was robbed, plundered, dort in Zarenreich, there in the Tsar's empire.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Barbara, can you go on?
Okay. A schlechter Ivan, a Hund Kruschewan, hat vergossen das Blut von dem Jid. So a wicked Ivan, a dog, his name is Kruschewan, has spilled blood of every Jew. A blutigen Yam, a bloody sea, hat gemacht dem pogrom, caused by a pogrom. Das Jidl singt weiter dein Lied. Yet who sings further his song?
His song. Hey, guys, anyone knows what the Krushevan is?
Was the name of a person?
I think so. Maurice is not here to explain, but
Here, he gave us the notes for it.
So I think it is. Yeah, I think it's the name.
He says the name Ivan refers to Russians. The pogrom was the Kishinev pogrom of 1903, the same year that the play was produced. Kruschevan was an ultra-conservative, anti-Semitic editor in Bessarabia, whose newspaper peddled lies about the blood libel and the elders of Zion, and who laid the groundwork for the Kishinev massacre.
Okay.
Other than that, he has no reputation.
Yeah, so now it makes, So please go on. It's the...
Oh,
just
we have more?
read it. Just read it. It's the...
Okay. Gott und sein Mishpat is gerecht. Mentor einmal nicht sagen, Gott ist schlecht. Gott weiß, was tut. Uns straft keinem nicht. Gott und sein Mishpat is gerecht.
Okay, so let's listen to it once again, because there were people that joined us, in the middle. So I am muting all of you.
Der Jid hat in sein Leben matreist Wort auf sein Bruch, in das hat ihm gegeben sein alte Seide noch. In wo's verach schlechtes trefft den ihn, wo soll ihm nicht geschehen? Trut doch in ist zufrieden, gleich wie Kornike wein. Nur sein Punnen wird blass, die Augen werden nass, sein Herz wird vergossen mit Blut. Sie starken sein Herzen, sie stillen sein Schmerz, nimmt sich trösten damit. Gott in seinem Mischbett ist gerecht, mit Türken mal nicht sagen, Gott ist schlecht. Gott weiß, was tut, sich ruft keinem nicht. Gott in sein Mischbett ist gerecht. Gott in sein Mischbett ist gerecht. Mit Türken mal nicht sagen, Gott ist schlecht. Gott weiß, was tut, sich ruft keinem nicht. Gott in sein Mischbett ist gerecht. Der Jid ist keinmal glücklich, leiten ewig on. Gebrochen in Stücklich ist die jiddische Nation. Hat kein Heim, kein Land, kein Freund, kein Trösten warm Wort. Die Schöne sind bei ihm, sie scheint nicht mehr hast ihm dort und dort. A verschottene Gär, a fremder ist überall wird geplagt. Hat Zures viel und doch leider still, weint sich mit euch in Sorg. Gott in sein Mischbett ist gerecht, mit kein Mund nicht sagen, Gott ist schlecht. Gott weiß, was tut, ihm sich ruft keinem nicht. Gott in sein Mischbett ist gerecht. Gott in sein Mischbett ist gerecht. Mit keinem Mund nicht sagen, Gott ist schlecht. Gott weiß, was tut, ihm sich ruft keinem nicht. Gott in sein Mischbett ist gerecht. Kemat in alle Deure steht Homen auf, in sich mit Kol Hamoires dem schwachen Jidl Sof. Auf jetzt 20. Jahrhundert und Freund ihn erreicht, ne hat den Jid gereut, geplündert, dort in Sarnreich. A schlechter Ivan, a Hindkruscherwan, hat vergossen das Blut in dem Jid. A blutigen Jam hat gemacht den Pogrom, das Jidl singt weiter sein Lied. Gott in sein Mischbett ist gerecht, mit kein Mund nicht sagen, Gott ist schlecht. was tit, ihm sich drauf der Kehle bedient. Gott in sein Mischbett ist gerecht. Gott in sein Mischbett ist gerecht. Nicht kein Wohl, nicht suchen, Gott ist recht. Gott weiß, was geht, und sich schrot verfehlen nicht. Gott in sein Mischbett ist gerecht, gerecht.
Okay. So, anyone wants to say anything before we move on?
sad.
Yes,
Yes,
Very
Hilda.
sad,
Yeah,
but
I
very
just wanted
beautiful.
to,
Hilda.
I just wanted to say that I have here the Yiddish music of that song, which was published in London, certainly in the 40s, because that's when I was given it. Maya Roberts and Berman there. So it has the music inside and all the words, just as it was sung on that CD. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Hilda. Cookie, unmute yourself and yeah. Cookie. Okay, until Cookie.
Yeah, okay, I got it. I have to tell you that my heart is hurting me, coming from an Orthodox background, and that's exactly how they felt. No matter what happened, whether my mother got lung cancer, she was an Ashes Chayil, I can see how people don't believe in God anymore or are agnostics and everything because such horrible things have happened to the Jewish people all through the thousands of years, and yet God is not to blame. So who is to blame? Why isn't God helping us? I mean, there's so many unanswered that will never be answered. But I found like crying through that whole song because no matter what it was, that's just how my parents felt.
Thank you, Cookie. Thanks. Zuli?
Why do we have to keep on punishing ourselves, stressing all the bad things in life? We have enough, we can get enough energy without reminding ourselves how bad the people have it. We have to come out a little bit more positive because we are survivors, and let's think about the good things we have in life.
Okay, thank you. Rochelle, and we move to the story. Rochelle?
Okay, this is very much the story of Job in the Bible, that no matter what happens to him, he keeps his faith. So there's the parallel to that. And there was only one person in my family who was religious, and it was an uncle that had survived the Holocaust. And he always said to me, "Mit Tor nicht da soll reden." Whenever I said anything, negative or, that I didn't believe or whatever, "Mit Tor nicht da soll reden," and that still, reverberates in my head. And I loved him very much.
Okay, thank you. I think we can move to the story. So,
Louise.
Luisa?
I just wanted to say that most of the survivors from camps that I knew as when I was growing up in Buenos Aires, who had gone to Argentina from Poland, none of them were religious anymore. They completely abandoned religion. But as I always say, one thing is to be very observant and another thing is to be a Jew. it's two different things. Because Judaism is a civilization that also happens to have its own religion, but we share our ethnic history, and that's why we are so different from one another anyway.
Thank you, Steve, and we are done here. Steve.
Okay, I mean, I think that one of the things that you have to sort of bear in mind about religiousness and European, particularly Eastern Europeans, is that it wasn't so much that people were religious in the sense that they followed the rules that were presented to them, and there was no alternative. If you were Jewish, that was how you were Jewish. And the cities, it changed a little bit. You know, you see some of the writers of Yiddish were people who moved away from the religion, but they moved to cities primarily. I think when people came here, and I use my father as an example and most of his family, they were very religious in Eastern Europe, but only because there was no alternative, because you either chose to be completely outside of the community or you were religious. There wasn't like here where you could have multiple ways of expressing if you choose to, your religiousness. So I think that when people came here, they responded not so much. I don't know that it was so much a thing of being after the war, because before the war, many people were giving up religion when they came here as well. And I think that it's critical to sort of think about this, not necessarily as a result of the Holocaust, although it's certainly, everything that people have gone through in terms of the Holocaust changes them in some ways. But I think it's more an expression of the freedom that people have here and in other areas to be Jewish and yet not to be Orthodox.
I think this is a subject that, many doctorates could be written about it, and we can sit here until I don't know when and chew on it, but I think we should move on. Louisa, you have something else to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment about what Steve just said, and I agree with it's an endless subject, but the alternative in Poland before was, or in Europe and everywhere, was Zionism. Zionism was secular Ben-Gurion style Zionism.
And not only Zionism, you have the socialist model, you have the Bundist. It was not only Zionism. So
and it
you
was
have other choices. You have other choices. You had other choices.
Ben-Gurion even.
Yeah.
I just want to say, my father used to say the reasons for the Holocaust was because the Jews were not religious.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, give me a break.
Don't get me started with that.
Yeah. No.
I'm just saying this is what I had to listen to.
That's another topic.
I hated being from.
And it's not true.
That's completely another topic. Maybe another time, maybe not. But let's.
Anyway,
we are starting
now.
We are starting today what I called binging on the Zinger family. We are going to start with Esther Kreitman, who was the oldest. When we finish with her, we will continue to read the story by Israel Joshua Singer, who was in the middle. And then we will finish by Bashevi Zinger. So basically, the whole summer we are doing the Zinger family. But it will be worth it. Believe me, it will be worth it. So, Naomi, you want to give us a few words? You say that you read her in English. You want to give us a few words on who she was? Naomi, you are with us?
Yeah, sorry, my niece is here for 2 minutes. So
okay.
I just said hello to her.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear.
Small introduction, very small.
Sorry, what were you, I didn't hear what you were speaking
If you say that you read about her in your
Yeah, what, Esther Kreitman?
Yeah, if you give us a few biographical, you know.
Boy, there's a lot. I have 10 pages.
No, 10
Okay,
pages.
I'll give you very brief. She was born in 1891, passed away in 1954, passed away in London, England. She married around 1912. The marriage disintegrated around 1926. She married a diamond cutter from Antwerp. I think the couple, they lived in London, and then perhaps when the marriage was dissipated, she went back to Poland. Then she came back to London. She had, I think, one son. Not sure if she had another child, but the son was her translator, and the other, her brother's translators as well. He eventually moved to Israel. He wrote under different names. He was a writer and a translator. I think his given name, Morris Craigman, I think it was changed to Martin Lee, Lea, as a nom de plume. And then he became Maurice Carr, Carr. What else can I tell you? There were also two other sisters in the family. One brother died. I don't know what happened to the sisters. Maybe they died in childbirth.
The sisters died from illness when they were, you know, like babies or very little.
And there was a brother who died, I think, during the Holocaust.
Yes, the brother Moshe died during the Holocaust.
What can I tell you? I think the story that we're reading today is supposedly biographical.
Yes.
So I'm not going to give away the story, but there's a lot to talk about with the story. She also, I don't know, it shocked me a little bit. She was cremated. She chose to be cremated. I don't know why that shocked me. I don't know.
Maybe because it's not very Jewish.
Yeah. She, you know, I think Isaac Bashevis sort of was nostalgic, wanting to write about, you know, sort of, I guess, Shtetl life. She wanted to get rid of it. That she just, you know, and Isaac Bashevis, I think, called her a chassid in a skirt.
Something else. Thank you, Naomi.
Okay.
Something else. Her parents did not let her have an education. She really wanted to study, but her parents. She was a woman, and so they didn't let her have an education. But still, whatever she knew, she studied by herself.
There was some question. Yeah, there was some question about mental illness or being hysterical or a neurological problem. There was a question mark if she had epilepsy, whether her not being accepted as a female writer. I don't know, scholars wrote maybe that contributed to her mental illness or her physical illness.
But you know, if women were angry at the time, they were called hysterical. So you know, whatever, if it wasn't in line, they were hysterical. So we have to take this into
Still
account.
now, women are called hysterical. It hasn't changed.
Okay, so let's start, because I really like the story, so that's why I'm pushing it, you know. Sorry, I really like the story. So, and it appeared in a book called Iches in London in 1950. So the Neue Welt. Rachel, can you start reading it, please?
Sure, thank you. Die Neue Welt. Liegendig noch in mein Mames Bauch ist mir demnach schon etwas nicht gefallen geworden. While I was still lying in my mother's belly. Already then, something I did not like something. No, that's Potter, but you see, I got rid of it. Warum ist gewesen, ob ich mich eingedreht, eingeknollt und bin mir gelegen wie kein Mal gar nicht. So, it was warm, it was there warm. So I turned around, rolled around, rolled myself around, and I lie down again like nothing happened. No, as seinen vorüber 5 Chadoshim und ich hab der viel Leben, bin ich geworden auf ein MS stark nicht zufrieden. Only when 5 months passed by and I already felt life, I became really very unhappy. Es ist mir niemals geworden, der ganze Indien. I got tired of this whole thing, of this whole affair. No mehr von als ist mir überdrüssig geworden, das Gesederdicke liegen in der Finster und hab protestiert. More than anything else, I got tired from the constant lying in the dark, and I protested. Oh, wer hat mich gehört, but who heard me? Als schreien hab ich nicht gekonnt. To yell, I couldn't. Let's remember, she is still in her mother's belly. She cannot yell. Ob ich mich ein Tag mit Yashev gewinnt, als lo so הדרך, und hab angehoben suchen auf von ihm, wie soll sich zu befreien. So, one day, I decided that this is not the way, and I started to look for ways to become free, to free myself out of the situation. Ich hab gar poshet gewollt aus. I simply wanted out.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Rachel.
you.
Thank you, Rachel. Rafael, can you continue?
Good. Ja, noch lange Trachtenischen ist mir eingefallen, als die beste Eize wohl Sofkolsof gewährt, anzuheben a Kampf mit der Namen. After thinking about it a long time, it occurred to me that the best advice would be finally to begin a fight against Mother. Habe ich mich genommen warfen, kollern, oftmal gegeben ihrer Sturch in der Zeit. I started to throw myself about, to roll about, and often to give her a jab in the side. Ich hab mich vergornischt nicht abgestellt. I didn't stop for anything. Aber es hat nicht geholfen. It didn't help. Ich hab mir bloß gemacht, einen schlechten Namen azoi. Als Tomer Lemoschel bin ich mitgeworden zu liegen auf ein Seite und ich hab geprüft, überdrehen sich, Poschet gewollt bequemer machen sich ein bisschen, haben sie schon euch geburscht. All I did was I gave myself a bad reputation. If, for example, I became tired of sleeping on one side and I wanted to turn over, I just wanted to make myself a little bit more comfortable. They already were groaning. Haklal, was will ich euch da lang drehen? Es hat gar nicht geholfen. Anyhow, what should I keep talking about this for a long time? It just didn't help. Ich hab gemusst ausliegen die ganze 9 Chadashim. I had to lie there for all 9 months. Ihr versteht? You understand? Dem ganzen Termin for the entire period.
Go on another.
Nu, habe ich nicht hoffentlich keine andere Brehre sich getreist. Well, not having any other choice, I comforted myself. Ich will mir schon abnehmen später. I'll get mine in later. I'll
get
do what I
even.
need to later.
I'll get even later.
I'll get even, that's good, yes. Sollen sie mich nur herausloggen auf Gottes Welt, weil schon wissen, was ich hab zu tun. As soon as they let me out into God's little world, then I'll know what I have to do. Gewusst, als ich will sein, a choshever Gast, hab ich zu lieb asachtamim. I knew that I was going to be an honored guest, an important guest, and I knew that for several reasons. Kaidem kol, davon, was ich pflegt sich oft Herren, die Mama reden, zu etwas erfreu. Was ist, wie ich hab mich später derwusst, gewinn mein Bobbe. Firstly, I often heard mother speaking to some woman who I found out later was my grandmother.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rafael. David, can you continue? I'm sure I saw him. Ah, okay. Maybe he left. Okay, Luisa, can you continue?
Okay, I'll try this one. Tut afilu a bissel weh, aber ich fühle es kimat nicht, pflegt die Mama sagen. So, would it be, I'm not sure how to read this, is that she would do, to do a little crying?
No.
No, if it will,
Hurt.
even if it will hurt a little.
Uh-huh. This way, okay. So even if it will hurt a little, aber ich feel is, but I could barely feel it. Used the mother used to say. I see what it is. So she was saying that it hurts a little, but she could barely feel it. Ich bin glücklich. I'm happy. Happy? Oi, wie ich pfleg das zittern a bisschen. Par dem Nomen Ikre.
Akara.
Akara. Okay, I'm not sure that.
I don't know how to pronounce it in Yiddish.
Akore.
Akore? Okay.
So, oi, as I used to, those zittern, I don't.
To tremble.
Because of the name Akara, was it because she could not have children?
She was afraid to be one that couldn't bear children.
Ah, okay. So that would be Akore. Epesa Kleinigkeit, would it be a small one? Zwei Jahre schon?
No. Epesa Kleinigkeit, something is, how to translate it. Rafael, help me out. I'm stuck.
What about Hebrew?
Episakleinigkeit, it's no small matter.
Yeah.
No small matter. 2 Jahre schon nach der Hasene und man hört nicht und man sieht nicht. Ah, that's why. 2 years after the wedding and one doesn't hear and one doesn't see anything. Minke die Akore hat euch gemeint, sie, I guess it's wird noch haben Kinder, right? Is it?
Yes.
So Minke, who was the woman who could not bear children, also thought that she would not be having children.
That she would have, that she would still have children.
Yeah, that she would still have.
You're right. Und mit was bin ich das sicherer gewesen? And how could I be surer?
And why was I sure?
Okay.
Why was I sure? So just a moment, before you continue, I see that Elaine raised her hand. Elaine?
Yeah, on the prior page, on the prior page, can you, okay, so translate, Stut afilu abyssal vey. I didn't quite get that.
It hurts a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But ich feel a schema, but I almost don't feel it. It hurts a little bit, but I almost don't feel it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Luisa, another paragraph, please.
Okay. Nu, geläubt ist der Oberster. So, I'm not so sure how to translate this.
Praise the Lord.
Oh, praise the Lord. Soll nur Gott helfen, soll sein in a mazeldike show. May God help that this will be at how should we translate in a mazeldike show?
A lucky
hour. At a lucky hour. Sol Halile, that it should, God forbid, kain ein hara einore, right? Kain einore. Schuld sein, fleck die Bobe, kimato mit entfern. God forbid that it will, that I guess the evil eye would not Schuld.
Sholet, it's from Sholet.
Yeah, will not.
Okay, that the Ain Hara would not prevail.
Yeah.
Used to say the Bobe almost always when she answered.
Okay, and another sentence.
Von ot azelche un ähnliche Schmuesen hab ich gedrungen, als ich will sein an ungelegter Gast. From such and these conversations, did I gedrungen? I drank?
No,
I gathered
that I will be an, I guess, unwelcome guest?
No, a welcome. A welcome guest.
Welcome, okay. A welcome.
Just for von ot azelche und ähnliche, from such and similar conversation.
So, thank you.
Und ähnliche.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luisa.
Thank you.
Naomi, can you continue?
Wo halten wir?
Ihr gewusst.
Okay. Gewusst habe ich, als bei uns auf jener Welt, wo ich hab gelebt, beschaß ich bin noch gewesen an der Schome, als es pflegt darfen rüberkommen etwas, a koscher Mensch, pflegt man sich greiten aufzunehmen, ihm mit Gois Parad. Okay, gewusst habe, okay, so I knew, as bei uns auf jener Welt, that by us, according to us, or as in our tradition, in this world?
Yeah, in that world.
In that world, okay. Wo ich hab gelebt, beschaß ich bin noch gewesen an der Show. Oh, where I lived at the time, I was still I guess a soul.
Yes, when she was.
Yeah, as pflegt darfen rüberkommen etwas a koscher Mensch. That there used to come over.
No.
When I'm having trouble with.
Yes.
Yeah.
When someone, an important person, had to come over.
Pflegt man sich greiten aufzunehmen ihm, so we used to prepare to welcome him, I guess, Mit groß Parade, with great, with a big welcome, yeah, with a parade
It's
or
parade,
something.
but
Oh, okay. Koinem Kol pflegt sich verspäten a gewaltige Lichtigkeit über den ganzen Himmelräum. Firstly, a gewaltige Lichtigkeit, I don't know how to translate it.
Enormous
to-
would work.
An
Terrific
enormous,
light.
light, okay.
From gewaltig is a terrific light.
a terrific
Oh,
light.
Was spreading.
Okay. Because when I see Gewalt, I think it's like, well, it's like an attack, right?
Yeah,
But,
but here it's like a terrific,
okay.
a great.
A great, okay. Über den ganzen Himmelrund, over the entire sky, the frame of the sky. Malachim pflegen herumfliehen, abzuwarten im Freiliche, scheinen dicke in ganzen eingehielt in heller Sonne. Angels would used to fly abwarten ihm to wait for him or to welcome him.
Yes,
Freiliche, happily or gladly. Scheinen dicke, beautifully in ganzen eingehielt in heller Sonne. Entirely covered in a golden sun or something.
Yeah, in a
Or
bright
like a
sun.
bright sun. You want me to finish the paragraph?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I know
yeah.
that we can do it slowly. I know that it's not
Yeah.
an easy read. We will
Yeah.
do it slowly. We are not hurrying.
Yeah,
anywhere.
I'm trying to read and translate it auf ein Fuß, you know, I want to chop it right away. Es haben ihm herumgeringelt, feierdicke,
Kruvim.
Kruvim.
Kruvim
I
is
don't-
like angels.
Oh,
In Hebrew.
angels. Same like Malachim? Is it a
Yes,
synonym?
yes, it's the
Okay,
same.
I've never seen the word. Was haben von sich abgeschlagen, so viel heilige Freude, als der Mensch pflegt nur bedeuren, was ist nicht früher gestorben. Okay, es haben ihm herumgeirrt, feierdicke, okay, so fiery, I don't know, angels surrounded him. Was haben von sich abgeschlagen, so viel heilige Freude. Abgeschlagen, who
Radiated, I think.
Radiated or emanated?
Sorry?
Radiated or
radiate? Abgeschlagen. What does that mean?
Reflected.
Oh, okay. Reflected so much heilige, holy joy. As der Mensch pflegt nur bedeuren, was ist nicht schwer. That the person used to, I don't know what this means. Something
That the person used to bedeuren, to feel
Sorry,
to
to feel sorry.
Oh, to feel
yeah.
regret that he wasn't born. No,
No,
that
that
he didn't die before.
That he didn't die before because he was so welcome. The welcome was so overwhelming. that it was-
Okay. Okay. In etwas Yiddish, was ich Choshever lang ausgeguckter Gas, hab mich Gericht geboren zu werden in a größer, lichtiger Stub mit offener Fenster, wahin, die Sonne wird, wahin, okay, die Sonne wird reinleuchten mit a größ Licht.
So
okay.
because she saw all these things in the other world where she lived, she expected, and let's see what she expected.
In Yiddish, in some kind of astonishment or wonder.
No, is it a wonder? Is it a wonder?
Chiddush.
Is it a wonder here?
Oh, okay. Is it some kind of a wonder? Was ich a choshever, who an important one, lang ausgeguckt der Gast, an important seen or sought out guest.
Long expected guest.
Long expected guest. Okay. Hab mich gericht geboren zu werden in a größer lichtiger Stube. I had the right.
I expected
birth.
To be born.
To be born in a great a lighted house with offene Fenster with open windows. Is that Buhin? Vahin? Okay. Where the sun wird reinleuchten mit der Geusle, where the sun is going to light up provide light, provide great light or a lot of light.
Yeah. So those were expectations.
It's beautifully written. It's very poetic. It's very beautiful.
Yeah. Rochelle, yeah.
There's a novel, and I can't remember the name of it, by Dora Horn. And she uses this story where when you die, your soul ascends to heaven. And when a new child is born, that soul comes back to earth as a new person. It's a kind of reincarnation myth.
And the world to come. The world to come.
Thank you. So that's what's happening here is she is now this newborn soul, and she's expecting from what she's heard and from the life in the world to come. And that's why it says that the world to come was so beautiful that people were sorry that they hadn't died sooner. That's kind of you wonder why people would want to die sooner. But here she is in this magnificent place of heaven, awaiting the birth of a new soul as a new person. So the world to come really does a whole story around this.
But I think in this story, it's Esther Kreitman as the fetus, like she's about to be born, and it's that from the unborn, from that world into the new world, right? Like
absolutely, but that's the myth that while you're waiting in heaven until you're born.
Yeah.
And of course the girls, I don't think in the religious tradition don't get the big as she's describing as much as the boys do. That's my understanding.
I just wanted to say that my mother told me when a child would die, and I would say, why did God do that? She would say that the soul was being punished, and that soul will go back and be put into another newborn who will be loved and everything. They had an excuse and a reason for everything.
Everything.
Yeah. But the soul was always reused. That's why I often say with the abortion issue, I don't understand why they want them to be born and then they don't want them here. Where the soul, if it's an abortion, you can't kill the soul if you're a religious person. So the soul goes back to heaven. So what are you killing? A piece of matter? I can never understand that. Huh?
Okay, but it's good recycling if you think about it.
Can I just mention something? The religious connotations to God, I think somebody translated, Lord or something. I forget what the phrase was. Is there a difference between translating reference to God in the Jewish tradition and in the Christian? Sometimes I find translations can be a little bit too Christian sounding. Is it me or is that no?
No, the Shema's translated as the Lord our God.
Okay.
You're also talking about, you're translating a word that it may have tremendous meaning in its original language. And, there are no words or no simple words for what it means. So you use what is common speech. So, I mean, Lord, the word Lord and Adonai and all this other stuff, it doesn't have, it's not necessarily the same in terms of meaning, but linguistically, that's the word we use for that when you translate into English.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Rochelle, you want to say something, or your hand is from
No,
before?
it's still up.
It's from before. Yeah, Louisa, please.
Yeah. What was the word that we were referring to God? Was it Ari? Where I remember it, but if you would
I think it
remind
was
me.
in that previous paragraph, not what I read, somebody else read.
Eibster, on high.
Yeah, the Oberster. The
Yeah.
one above. The one above.
Right.
Okay,
Yes,
Lloyd Eberster, yeah.
Thank you.
Instead of using the word God.
Thank you. I wanted also to say that the word cherubim for angels in English, it's really transliterated because the word in English is cherub.
Cherubs.
Okay.
Yeah, and you may see it sometimes when actually in non-Jewish descriptions, and it goes with cherubim, angels and cherubim and so on and so forth.
But again, I mean, cherubim are different than angel. I'm mythically, I think they're the same thing. But I mean, mythically, a cherub is not. An angel is a higher rank. It's like majors and captains. So in somebody's imagination, one has more shmichas than the other one.
Yeah, it's
Isn't
really
a
an
cherub like a
untranslatable.
baby? They usually show a baby with wings or something for a cherub.
Yeah.
That's it.
A putty. Yeah. Okay, so
Does anybody
Hilda.
have the English? How did they translate that word in English? I'm just curious.
Bob will try and send it to Beverly, and
Okay.
she will send it to us, and then we can compare.
Okay, Shannon.
I say, Barbara, yeah.
I just want to remark that cherubim are on the ark, and they are intertwined, so they were very important. They accompanied the ark.
Okay,
it says angels.
Angels.
It says, but there are cherubs. Yeah, he would be surrounded by celebrating cherubs
Okay.
who radiated such holy joy.
Yeah, they're the staff sergeant.
So yeah, exactly. They do all the work.
But that's the translator. That's how the translator does it. Don't forget.
If you read poetry in translation, or the difference between how one translator hears a poem, and that's the thing. Great translators take poetic license with English, as well. So it's English is limited in certain ways. Yiddish is limited in certain ways, and you come up with ways of expressing it that aren't, that you try to be poetic as well.
That's why we read in the original. That's why we read Yiddish.
If you can.
We are.
Yeah. Slowly, you will be able. You see. Yes, Louisa.
Yeah, there are theories, different theories and approaches to translation. Sometimes the translation is very literal, and sometimes it is it takes a certain poetic license. So translation is really philosophically an interpretation by the translator.
Of course.
Okay. I just want to read the four lines, because it will get us to next week. So, and then we can talk about it. Hilda, can you read it?
Frimor. So women shorn fagel.
Not Zuli. Hilda. I think she's gone. Okay, Beverly, please.
Hab der Wart, I waited. As jeden Frühmorgen sollen kommen, Scharen, Fegelach, mir begrüßen. I was waiting that every Frühmorgen would be morning,
Yes.
Early morning.
Early morning.
Oh, early morning, there come birds to say hello to me.
No, singen Shiraz, they will sing with poetry,
I didn't read
songs.
that yet. I didn't read that yet.
Sorry.
Beglach mich begrüßen, to welcome me. Singen Shiraz, singing songs.
Yes.
Dazu bin ich noch geboren geworden in Rosh Chodesh. So in the end, I was born at the beginning of the month.
No, in addition.
In addition.
Oh, in addition. So I was born in Rosh Chodesh Adar. I don't know what that.
Adar. Purim.
Adar.
There are the month of Purim, Adar.
Oh, in the month of Purim, a Chodesh von Purim, a month of during Purim.
Chodesh von Friday, yeah. A month of
a month of happiness. Mishnah.
And I will say, the saying is in Hebrew, Mishenichnas Adar marbin besimcha. When Adar starts, there is a lot of happiness, a lot of Freilichkeit. Okay, another sentence and we are there.
Nor da kommt sie. So here she comes. Die erste Enttäuschung. I don't know what Enttäuschung.
The first disappointment.
Because she was a girl, they wanted a boy.
Exactly. So that's why I wanted to arrive to this paragraph. This why I wanted to arrive here, because that's where everything turns around.
That's her life.
Yeah, that's where everything is going upside down.
My father-in-law once said to me, "I'm very disappointed you had 3 girls. Why didn't you?" I swear to God. I said, "You know what? You got to talk to your son because he determines the sex." Oh yeah. He didn't like that. He didn't like that. But it's true. Europeans will like that.
Yeah. Not only Europeans, in a lot of other cultures. In the Chinese culture.
Oh my God! In China, they were killing firstborn daughters.
Everyone likes men.
And not only the Chinese, the
Not
Indian,
me.
and you can go on the Arabs, and
well, of course, cultures, yeah. But that was her life.
Yeah, well, their reason was because the son would take care of the parents in the old age.
In the Chinese,
that wasn't in the Jewish faith.
And also the inheritance laws were only for males to inherit. I mean,
What
women
do you mean?
have the right to vote, let alone inherit.
Take care of the family? Come on.
Nearly.
Come on.
No, the sons had the money. They worked, so they took care.
I think you need to read the Torah to find out about
the women
inheritance.
went with the husband.
You don't need to read anything. This is.
I think it comes down to historically, you know, you know, groups of people or nations that, you know, looked at women as expenses and men as earners. And so, you know, if you had a lot of women like Tevye, you know, you have a lot of weddings, you have a lot of dowries, you have, you know, your money's going out. When you have a son, money's coming in, you know.
There's another thing. The son takes the name of the family from generation to generation, and that's what they wanted.
I always used to say to the rabbi, why when they call the man up to the bima, do they mention his father's name and not his mother who did all the suffering? And first of all, you don't even know who the father is. It might not
but when they make a mishaberach,
yeah, you call for the mother.
Mother's name.
I just made one yesterday. Yeah, you call for the mother's name. Yeah.
Okay, I see that Marsha raised her hand. Marsha, please.
Yeah, Rachel, you said that abgeschlagen was radiated. I don't know the word like abgeschlagen. Schlagen means like when you're hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe you can see it as bouncing back.
Yeah, like up
like
hitting, you know, arising, enveloping, you know. I mean, I think that makes.
another use of that word abgeschlagen is abgeschlagt die Eier when you make a schnee. You are beating the eggs until they rise.
But that's not abgeschlagen.
I beaten
That's
up.
schlagen.
No.
That's different?
No.
Okay, sorry.
No.
I just wanted to throw in a compliment my mother gave me. She said, "Finnef Zinn, Zennen it wert ein Tochter."
Oh, that's nice.
That's, yeah. Okay. Louisa and then Rachel. Louisa.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that Barbara was right. Barbara is right because the Torah, I don't remember which parasha it was. Okay, the
Right.
Torah.
I'll look it up and I'll send it. I'll
Yeah,
send it
but
out.
it allows for women to inherit precisely.
Right. Exactly.
So that's what Jews do. Jews allow women to inherit.
Because there was a case of the 5.
That's right. 2 daughters.
Right.
I think there were 3 daughters. I'm not
Daughters
quite
of
sure.
Zelophehad or something.
Right.
That's right.
To get the land, and the judge ruled for the daughters.
Right. So
That's
from
right.
biblical times, can you imagine?
Okay, Rachel.
All right. Two things regarding the women not inheriting. I just had a course in Mishnah, and I began to understand why the position of women in antiquity was the way it was, because the economy was very different.
Yeah.
The society consisted of households. The head of the household was the man, and the woman was part of that household. It was not possible for a woman to be the head of a household. So
She was a
if
servant.
her husband died or her husband divorced her, she had to go back to her father. There was no independence for women. A woman was like a slave, and that's what we feel. A woman had no position in the society, and the households were the units of production. The agriculture. They were cultivating the land. They were growing cows. But this is what the economy consisted of. And this is what we feel to this day. That's why we are discriminated against. It's because of the economy of those times. Now, today, we women can all do everything. But, this is why our religion relies on these laws. And this is why a man, when there is a Jewish divorce, a man has to give a woman a get, but a woman cannot give a man a get because he sends her out of his household. He is the head of the household, and he sends her out.
She's his property.
Okay, so he has to give it into her hand. The man is the boss. So that's one thing. I wanted to say something about the translation of God, the name of God. In Hebrew, we have numerous names for God. Okay, there is Adonai, Elohim, Hamakom, Hakadosh Baruch Hu, and so on. The Christians took the word Adonai and called it, and the Lord. And every time I hear the word Lord, it bothers me a little bit. But in Hebrew, Adon is Lord. So they translated it, Adon is Lord. I believe in the Lord. But it's really Adonai in Hebrew. And the Christians don't have as many names for God either. We Jews have many names, more than I remember.
So you cannot sleep well? Okay. I can sleep very well.
Okay, good. Anyone else with a comment?
Zij gezond alle. We zijn door in de komende dikke woche.
I have to tell you guys that even these times in Tel Aviv, the Rabbanut is about giving the get to the woman, it's impossible. She has to beg from the husband, and we went through it 6 years. I can tell you, it's unbelievable.
Aren't there men in prison in Israel who refuse to give gets?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, but
yes.
it takes a long time.
No.
It takes a long time. That's what Neely
What are
was.
they called? Hagonis? What are they called? The women.
Aguna.
Aguna.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
but you don't want to go this direction.
They blackmail the women.
Yeah.
Thousands.
Oh, they are like in the Bible days.
Okay, so guys, next week we will continue to read the story, and next week we will get into the part where all our expectations are shattered.
Wow.
So yeah, that will be, you know, the saddest part of the story.
Should we expect a song?
Excuse me.
Thank you.
Could somebody
Bob?
send?
Should we
somebody
expect a
check out-
song?
Expect a song. I think, yes, Maurice just couldn't come today, but I think he will send the song as usual. He said Maurice is in New York now, but he said that he will continue sending the song. So I don't know of any other thing. And right now I'm continue to be here with you. There will be times when there won't be a class, but not right now. Right now we are continuing as usual. Okay.
Sandra had a question. Sandra.
Yes. Sandra, yes, please.
Can anybody direct me to the biography of Esther Kreitman?
Sent a link.
I can send Beverly a few links, and you can read online. Okay. Yeah.
Also, last week when I sent out the story, I sent out a link to her biography. And
if you want the story in translation, I can send it as well. Is
No,
that
I don't
okay?
Yes.
I sent it to Beverly.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Just Marsha, before we are leaving, Marsha, yes?
I just wondered if anybody wants to get together with me to work on what the Minna has given us before Tuesday. If we can meet like on a Friday morning and just spend like an hour with each other and go over this, it would be, helpful. And then when we come to class, we might be a little more prepared. So
okay, so guys, if you want to do it with Marsha, please contact Marsha. Marsha, I'm sorry I cannot do it with you, or I'm babysitting my granddaughter during the weekend. So
I appreciate everything.
So
everything you do.
I'm sorry I cannot do it. But if someone of you wants to do it with Marsha, please contact her. Okay. Okay. And I will see you all next week.
Thank you, Mina. Great story. Great story.
Agite Woch, guys.
Agite Woch.
Okay. Bye.
Shane and done.